Hi there, my name's Lisa. Welcome to Just You Watch Me Fix It. I won't say I am Philip's better half because I don't think I am. I think I'm his complementary half, let me put it that way, and vice versa. As you continue to watch our channel, you'll discover that Philip is brilliant at fixing things or building things, and thus the name of the channel, Just You Watch Me Fix It. But I'm really good at visualizing things, imagining what things are going to look like once they're done, and also in the actual design of a project. So I've actually worked in another life as a drafter and designer of residential homes, and I did the odd kitchen in that as well. So I've got some really good tips to share with you to think about when you are designing a kitchen. And I am definitely going to share my journey in designing my very first kitchen in my life. So up until now, I've only lived in homes where, you know, you worked within the kitchen that you got. Now I have the opportunity to actually design and build my very own kitchen. So I'm really, really excited about that and looking forward to sharing that journey with you. So why are we putting in a new kitchen? As you will see, our kitchen is really EOL, which means end of life. Sorry, kitchen, but that is the case. As you'll see behind me, the wall oven over here, it actually was never inserted into a wall, so it was never actually built into a cabinet. It's just actually sitting on top of our dishwasher at the moment. The dishwasher is actually pretty good. Even though we've had it for about 15 years, it's still going strong, so that's a keeper. But the cabinets in the kitchen over here, you'll see these are louvered timber doors. They're actually really hard to clean. If you spill stuff down the front of a cabinet, it's not just a quick wipe to clean it. You actually have to scrub or wipe each slat in the louvers. We also have louvered cabinets over here on this wall. They've been painted and they look better, but again, they really gather dust. They also don't seal very well. Not a favourite of mine. So the louvered cabinet doors are definitely going to go. Another thing that was really badly designed in this kitchen is the actual sink. So it's designed for a right-handed person, which I am, which is great. You put your dirty dishes here, you've got your main wash sink, which is your bigger bowl, then you have a smaller bowl, and then you have your drainer here for putting your clean dishes on to dry. However, because it's actually installed here in a corner, no one can stand beside you and actually wipe up for you. So my husband gets out of a lot of wiping up, and we tend to drip dry a lot. So I'd like to change that a little bit. You'll also notice that the washing machine is in the kitchen. So we don't have a laundry. This is something that I don't mind the design of, and a lot of people, a lot of new homes are actually combining laundries in kitchens. For the purpose of our kitchen though, we've decided to move the washing machine out of the kitchen. One of the reasons is because this is an open area. It's open to our dining area, which is open to our lounge, and if you're washing late at night, it can be a little bit noisy if you're watching telly and just wanting to wind down. These days you can get machines that boast, you know, quiet modes. So it's up to you, but we've decided to move it out. All right. The other thing is we really don't have a lot of storage space in this kitchen. So down here, you'll actually see that there's two cupboards in this corner. A little bit hard for you to see, sorry, in that corner. I've got cupboards here, 3 cupboards here under the sink, and that's it. On this wall at the back, which could have lots of cupboard space, there is absolutely nothing at the moment. We've put a hutch in here, which I love, and while we're going to keep the hutch, it's actually not going to be part of our kitchen. it's going to be moved into our dining area. So this area will be free now to put in lots of cabinet space. So that's another thing that really doesn't work in the kitchen, not enough storage. Now, I'm going to share with you 4 things that I found or I feel is crucial to think about before you even start looking at brochures and looking at appliances and all that sort of thing. So the first thing is, where are your utilities? So your utilities are your electricity, your water, and your gas, if you have gas. Excuse me, if you have gas appliances. All right, so let's think about those. For me, water is here at the sink. It's under a window, so that's where my water is. We do have a gas cooktop, and the gas line at the moment comes in on the outside of this wall, so in the conservatory, but it comes along the top here in the corner. It runs to this side of the window, straight down the wall outside, then in through the mud bricks and connects to the cooktop here. So that's where the gas line is running at the moment. The other thing is, what is it? Water, gas, electricity. So electricity will include your lighting, of course. This kitchen is not too bad with lighting. I actually have 3 spotlights above me. I also have a spotlight over the sink, which I can turn on here. And I have one more over here. Unfortunately, you can't see them on the video. Sorry about that. But that one shines down onto the cooktop. So whoever designed the kitchen in the first place, they were owner builders. They did actually do a pretty good job of lighting. I also have a light here over my main workbench. The other thing is PowerPoints. Now, we don't have enough PowerPoints, but they are here on this wall. They are here behind this hutch, and they are also here on this wall here. However, you may see that we are using double adapters in each of these PowerPoints to accommodate all our appliances, and that really isn't safe. It's not recommended. And that's something I really want to change. I want to have more PowerPoints so that we can just plug an appliance straight in without using any sort of power pack or double adapter. All right, so the reason we want to think about utilities is, if we're going to move them, they could become very expensive items in our budget. So to move a gas line, piping, or electric lights or PowerPoints, we're going to need qualified licensed tradesmen. So can we design our kitchen around where those things already are to minimise costs? Or do we have to move them? And if so, we're going to have to think about how much that's going to take out of our budget. All right, now this tip may sound a little bit funny, but I always like to ask my clients, what do you love and hate about your kitchen? You will have a love-hate relationship about your kitchen, especially if you are a cook. And that's something that you need to think about to make sure that your new design has been tailored specifically to you, your likes, your dislikes, your habits, your cooking habits, etc., etc. So what do I love about our kitchen? I love these 2 windows. They bring in a lot of natural light, and I really love that. I don't mind the sink being under a window because you can wash and look out at the garden or look out at the conservatory, and I find that quite nice. So that's something I don't want to change. I do want to keep the kitchen here. I just want to design the sink a little bit better so that we can both stand here, chat together, and wash and wipe up together. Another thing I love is that it's open to our dining area, which is open to our lounge. I'm a very social cook. If I have people over, I love them to come early. I love even if they want to get into the kitchen and help me. and just chat and have a wine, a pre-dinner drink, and, you know, cook and talk at the same time. I love the idea of breakfast bars where a person can pull up a stool and chat to you and have a drink while you're cooking. So that's really important to me. I do have a breakfast bar, so I'm just going to come around here. Hi. I'm not hugging my breakfast bar. I'm just trying to get the camera to show you where my breakfast bar is. So here it is. You can see I've got appliances along here. It really cuts into the amount of workspace. I've really not got much room than 1.2 square meters of workbench here, and I'd like a little bit more. But I do love the idea of having a breakfast bar and a workbench. As I said, I like the lighting. The lighting's fairly good, but I really want to make sure that as we bring in more cabinetry and we create different workspaces, etc., that they are all well lit, because I think light in a kitchen is a real feel-good element, and it creates great ambience. So that's really important to me. All right, what do I hate about the kitchen? Okay, so the things I hate about the kitchen is, probably I've mentioned them already, so I'll just run through them really quickly. Cabinetry doors are hard to clean. They're deteriorated. The cabinets are deteriorated. The sink is badly designed. The oven's not installed in a cabinet over there in the corner. It's just sitting on top of the dishwasher. There's not enough storage place, so we need more cabinets. There's no range hood. So down here when we're cooking, the whole downstairs, because it's cold out here in Tassie, especially now in early spring, all our windows mist up with condensation, it gets foggy. You find that fat gets on the walls because it's carried in the steam. I don't know if that really happens, but that's what it feels like, because you're sort of wiping down a wall and you think, how did fat get over here when you're not anywhere near the cooktop? So I really want to get a range hood. I think that's really important. The last thing is it's just badly designed, and it's probably because there's not enough storage space in the first place. But if Philip is in the kitchen, say making a cup of coffee, which is just here, you know, and I'm washing up, which is just right next door, and I'm wiping up and wanting to put dishes away, you know, I'm asking him to move so I can open a cupboard, put something away, and you just feel like you're always on top of each other in the kitchen. Do you have that at your place? Maybe it's a door that just shouldn't be where it is, and the kids come running through the door all the time and you nearly run into them because you're moving from the fridge, you know, to the workbench or something like that. So yeah, so thinking of pathways, and the pathways in this kitchen just don't work. There's just not been enough. I think it comes down to the fact that there's not enough storage space. So you end up both cramped into the same area and you feel like, yeah, you're bumping into each other. So I really want that to change. So out of this love-hate relationship with your kitchen will come a clearer idea of what you want. So really have a good think about this love-hate relationship. What do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Make a list. Get a list. Put a line down the middle, put love, hate, or yes, no, or, you know, what I want, what I don't want. And keep that list handy as you go through your journey, because it's really easy to get distracted. You'll meet a salesperson who wants to sell you a certain type of oven. Maybe it's best for his commission, or maybe it's his favorite oven, and he thinks it's going to be awesome in your kitchen. You know, and that's fine. It's great when people get passionate about your project, but you got to be really careful that they don't start convincing you of things that they would put in your kitchen instead of what you want in your kitchen. And it's really good to have that love-hate relationship list to look back on, and just double check, am I on track here? Have I forgotten about anything? Oh, what about lighting? Do we need underbench lighting? Is that going to help me create the ambience I want, etc., etc. So keep it handy. I love sharing my journey with my friends, but sometimes even friends can distract you. Oh, if I had a kitchen, I'd have this type of fridge. I wouldn't have a French door fridge. I'd have, where the freezer's down the bottom and up the top, and you might just start to go along with them. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes they come up with great ideas and you hadn't thought about that. And you might think, yes, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to change my mind here. And that's your prerogative. But having that love-hate relationship list can just help keep you focused on the fact that this is your kitchen. This is going to be your kitchen for the next couple of decades if you stay in the house. So you want to stay on track. You want to make sure that you're getting what you want and you're not sort of getting a bit confused and bamboozled along the way. Okay, so that was the second thing. That was the love-hate relationship list. The third thing is to think about, what style do you want? Do you like the current style? If so, great, keep it. But if you want to change it, how are you going to go about doing that? What are the elements of that style that you can incorporate into your kitchen so that you change the current style to the style that you want? So that could be something as easily, well, I'm going to go from, straight, flat or louvered cabinet doors, to a country look, a country profile on my doors, and that will help change that style. But decide on what style you want and then think about how you're going to create that style or that ambience in your kitchen. Write that down too. As I said before, things can change along the way. You can even change your mind. There's so many choices out there. You might say, oh, I want country profile. That's what I want. And then later you think, you know what? I don't think I do. I think what I really need to have here is this heritage profile. It's slightly different. And I think it's going to influence the current style that I have now, into the style they actually want to create. So, there's lots of choices. There's lots of colors. Colors makes a really, really big difference to your style. If you're looking, I want to do French farmhouse. That's my idea. We have a farmhouse, and I love French sheep, French farmhouse. And I've bought a book that actually has color wheels in it of all the different styles of French farmhouse from different places in France. And it really gives me some good solid ideas of what colors I can mix and match and put together in order to create the style and ambience that I want without getting them to clash, which can be really tricky sometimes. So that's the third thing. Work out what style that you want to create and what ambience you want to create. The fourth thing is, what is on your wish list? So this could be appliances. You might want a freestanding stove. You might want to go from an electric stove to a gas stove. You might want to have a gas cooktop, when at the moment you have induction, or vice versa. So, what do you want? What's on your wish list? It could be specific materials. So you may, we actually did a small kitchenette in the studio next to, on the other side of this wall, not next door, on the other side of this wall. There's a very small one bedsit studio. For that kitchen, we used a caboodle flat pack from Bunnings, the big green shed, hammer barn. And they have different types of Laminex or laminate board for their kitchens. And they're different qualities. So, on my wish list is the better quality, the thermoformed laminates. So that is something that I have on my wish list for this kitchen. We are going to go with a caboodle flat pack kitchen for here as well. That means we can install it ourselves, which saves us quite a lot of money. And as we go along, I'll share with you some other ways that we've been able to save money too by doing things ourselves. Another thing on your wish list could be lighting. You might want spotlights. You might want 3 beautiful pendant lightings hanging from the ceiling over your workbench. You know, you may have seen pictures that you've just fell in love with, you know, and what was it about that picture that just drew you to it in the first place? You know, write that down. What is it? Is it the lighting? You know, if it is, that, put that on your wish list. Is that something you can see you could incorporate into your kitchen? So doing a lot of lists, writing, really helps you get a clear idea of what's happening. Another thing that's on my wish list is to do with the ovens. Notice I said ovens. In my next kitchen, right here, I'm not going anywhere, I really want to have 2 ovens if possible. I want to have one where you can be baking your pudding, your dessert, and one where you can be roasting, you know, your pork leg. And I want to be able to keep plates warm, you know, while I don't want to put them in the oven with the pork when it's at 220 degrees Celsius or something. So I want to be able to have an oven space, a warm space where I can put plates to get them warm so that they don't get cold, so that they don't cool the dinner down really quickly before I even get a chance to serve it to the table. So that's on my wish list, 2 ovens. Range hood, obviously, bigger workbench area if possible, and maybe I'd like to try and just bring the workbench slightly this way so I can open up the dining area a little bit more and make more room for our table, which is okay at the moment, but it's a little bit cramped, and for larger gatherings, larger groups, it'd be nice to have even that extra foot in the length of the dining area. Now, you might have also noticed that there's no fridge in this kitchen. Did I hear someone say, oh, that's what I said, there's no fridge in the kitchen. How can she have a kitchen without a fridge? So I'm leaning up against the workbench, so I'm just going to lie down again. This is my workbench area. So this is where my kitchen starts. You can see my kitchen dining area has been packed up and there's a whole heap of stuff on it because we're actually tiling at the moment. So that's all been shifted out of the way. Then we've got, you know, around here, sink, gas stove, washing machine, dishwasher, oven, hutch or wall without cabinets, spice rack. I love my spice rack. And we've got some storage cabinets here. So that's the kitchen. That's the 360 of the kitchen. No fridge. If these spice racks weren't here, sorry, elephant ears. If this spice rack wasn't here, yes, we could put the fridge here. This is where I plan probably put the fridge once we've designed our new kitchen. So at the moment, our fridge is, you know, sitting in our dining space because if I have the hutch for the extra storage, I really don't have the room to fit a good sized fridge, and at the moment our fridge is fairly big. So I want an area for the fridge. Something else that's on my wish list. I have seen pictures of black and white sinks that look like the old farmhouse sinks, and I can just see one sitting beautifully just here. What do you reckon? So I'm thinking big double bowl, black, white sink, farmhousey look. That's definitely something that's on my wish list. How far the budget will stretch is another thing. And we're all in that situation. Kitchens can be a really, really expensive business. So we have to be careful. We have to think about what we're choosing. We'll have to make compromises. You know, we won't be able to have and do everything that we want to do. So we'll have to come up with ways that we can achieve that style, that look, that ambience, and give us as many things on our wish list as we possibly can. Okay, so once you've got your list and you've got clear in your mind what style you want, what ambience you want to create, what things you love, what things you hate, you are ready to start window shopping. You can do that these days online, of course, so, you know, that's great. You know, check out all the ideas out there. What's the latest in stoves? What's the latest in fridges? They are amazing these days. You know, what do you want? You've got ones that make round whiskey ice cubes these days, ones that are plumbed in, fridges that are plumbed in. that you never have to fill up your ice cube tray again. Fridges that display websites on the front door so you can bring up your favorite recipe on your fridge door while you cook. So get researching. Have some fun with this. The one thing not to do is rush it. Don't rush it. This is your time to have what you want. So really take the time to get to know what's available out there. What colours does it come in? And start choosing and keeping a track of all the things that you've found that, you'd like to incorporate in your kitchen design. I recommend that online, in your favourites, create a folder just for your new kitchen and start saving website pages into there that, have your favourite stove in it, or the fridge that you'd like to buy, or even pictures of kitchens that you've seen on the internet, maybe off the house website or something that, you love. Put all those things in there. And it's the same off the internet, in the real world. Create a hard copy folder and start putting all your stuff that you find in here, all the brochures you find on your stove, etc., etc., business cards that people give you, specification sheets, etc., etc. So, have your hard copy, have your soft copy, but my big recommendation is keep all this legwork somewhere safe in one spot. Yeah, have a hard copy, have a soft copy, but keep one hard copy. Keep it all together. The folders are great. Drop into Officeworks and grab something. Bunnings actually gave me this one, so I'm just using it. So I hope you've enjoyed our chat today. And I hope those 4 tips or 4 things to think about will really, really help you. Where are your utilities currently? Are you going to keep them where they are, or will you need to move any of them? Think about, how much that will affect your budget. What's your love-hate relationship with your kitchen? What do you love? What do you want to keep? What do you hate? What do you want to make sure goes? The third thing, what style and ambience do you want to create? And the fourth thing, what is on your wish list? So that's the first place that I start, and I encouraged my clients years ago to start there. In the next video, we'll talk about the next step, and that will include how your habits can make or break your new kitchen design, and how to incorporate your habits into your new kitchen design so that you love your kitchen when it's finished. I hope you come along for the ride. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and ciao for now.